Hello, everybody, and welcome to another podcast from Toxic Topics, a weekly thing we do. I, as always, am your incompetent host, Ken Houdek. Next to me is...
I'm Josh.
I'm Jordan.
And as a surprise guest this week, my father, the ever-knowing Kenneth Houdek.
Hello.
There he is. We got a few topics for you today. The big one being, which I think you guys will love, when is it the right time to teach sex ed in school? Dad, we'll start you off. What do you think?
Well, growing up, we always did it in like third grade. I think it's important that they do it right at the beginning of puberty.
Okay.
I mean, it's when you're going to start becoming sexually active. So to me, that would be the best time to start informing the youth of when, what to use, how to use it.
Exactly. See, I know when I was a kid, I believe the same for you guys, it was, what, 5th grade around that time?
I learned it in 4th grade.
4th grade?
We started 4th
I can't even remember back that
But it was
far
very
learning it.
minor teaching.
Yeah.
It was
just like an introduction.
here's a penis, here's a vagina, that goes there.
When they showed it to me in 4th grade, they're like, here's a stick of deodorant.
Yeah, I never
Start
understood the
wearing
whole
it.
stick
Yeah,
of
like
deodorant thing.
Yeah.
That's when the first
That's
thing.
nothing to do with
You
sex.
guys got something
That is-
new on me. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did the whole banana cucumber thing.
I don't think
We never got
I
that.
No.
I-
No, we didn't get that.
I think that a lot of the sex ed that we were taught wasn't like the use of like safe sex and protection and all that. It was just learning like what the genital areas were and all that stuff. Like
Yeah.
I don't remember like getting into like 7th, 8th grade like health classes and stuff. You started learning about that, but like back in when we were first learning about it.
So they didn't teach you actual sexual reproduction system. They just taught you that, hey, you've got a dinghy and she's got a,
I mean,
you
I can't
They,
remember.
they grazed over it
Right.
briefly, but we didn't learn like the finer points of it until freshman year, maybe?
Yeah,
See,
that's what
not
I'm
us.
thinking,
We
like,
had to
freshman year
literally, they would give us a diagram of the female anatomy that
Yeah.
you had to actually label and name. This is the labia, this is
all that stuff.
you had to put all that. You had to do the same with the male sex organs as
Nothing
well.
like pin the tail on a donkey with vagina.
Yeah.
there, right there, right there.
Still to this day, not one single person was able to find the clit on it. So
Point to where
I mean,
Uncle
still
touched
can't
you.
find it. Now, I did find it kind of bass-ackwards, the fact that, because of like hormones in food, especially today, that like puberty happens earlier now than it used to, right? I mean, you're seeing like 13-year-olds with double D's and shit like that.
But that's not necessarily that puberty is beginning.
Okay.
That's a big difference. Hormones in themselves are going to cause changes in the body.
Yeah.
Now, they've said that like chicken McNuggets for years, because the chicken that they use comes from farms that are injected with female hormone to make the breast meat bigger portions. Less, more meat, less chickens.
Yeah.
So the profits go up. And the thing being is that would transfer into the female body. So now we're seeing with this kind of farming that we do with things like chickens and beef, that those hormones are transferring into the human body, and now you got a 13-year-old with double D's.
Yeah.
So you didn't have that in my day. I mean that stuff was flat as
Now,
a
is this
board.
why all the 13-year-olds I see at Whole Foods are like just have tiny tits? Is that what it is? They're in the clean chicken.
Yeah. They're doing the whole food thing.
Yeah.
So, chicken farms are good.
I'm
At least I agree.
I'm wondering when the chicken hormone's going to come out that increases dick size. Maybe it's fried chicken. I don't know, but it's...
Well, no. See, here's something that I look at towards that, is that being that we as men are eating those same feminine hormones, what do you guys think what do you think about this as an idea? Men have become more feminine over the years. Do you think that would be directly related to the intake of the chemicals that were ingested?
That would make sense.
I mean, I wouldn't think it'd contribute like all too much to it, but I do agree that like
Be surprised how powerful
I mean, I definitely-
female hormones are.
think
You ever
like
seen a woman in a
yeah,
rage?
oh yeah.
I definitely think One Direction, Justin Bieber had kind of an impact on feminine men. But yeah, chicken that does all the signs kind of match
It makes
up.
sense.
It would make sense, but it would also make sense why some guys have some big tits too.
Yeah.
Just growing tits.
Yeah, shut up.
Fucking bad.
I love chicken.
Getting back on topic, let's get a definitive answer here. What age you think it should be? You said puberty,
Beginning of puberty, so
12.
between your 12 and your 14-year-old.
Okay,
I think you should start 5th grade.
5th grade.
Heavy going
Same,
into it.
but it should be more descriptive than what's for us.
It should be
Much more.
much more descriptive.
We shouldn't be getting things at deodorant.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with
They
it.
give it literally a stick of deodorant and a pamphlet.
Yeah.
There you go.
Which,
it.
what do you think, Josh?
I agree with like right before puberty and everything would be the best time.
I actually think earlier. I'm thinking
Really?
2nd or 3rd grade. Okay, that seems stupidly early. The reason I say it though, go on Fortnite at any time and listen to an 8-year-old spout he wants to fuck your mother. I'm not saying that he's like emotionally and like psychologically developed at all,
Yeah.
but he knows some
Those
things.
terms and like I mean, I just don't think like 2nd and 3rd grade you like retain that all the way up to the point where you're starting to have like sexual experiences and stuff.
Oh yeah,
I think they'd be
definitely
Just
I
think
don't think a mind younger than that 12 and 13-year-old.
can process.
I
it.
really don't think that they truly comprehend sexuality, that they understand what sex really is.
Well, especially now, living now, or in this time where who knows what a man and a woman is. I mean, you can't even call anyone a man or a woman without getting crucified in the streets.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, I would agree on puberty. This brings us to our next thing, where we're going to bring the spotlight back from last week. And this week we're going to be talking about, very first, Rob Gronkowski, who just recently announced his retirement from the NFL after 9 seasons. He was a plague on the league and a cornerback's worst nightmare. What do you guys think about
Fuck the
his
Patriots.
retirement? What do you guys think about his retirement as well as his legacy? I know the big question that's been up is whether he is the, as I brought up the other day, if he's the GOAT of tight ends. What do you think about that?
I think he's top 3. I don't know
Fair.
if I'd say he's GOAT.
Who are you gonna put above?
Tony Gonzalez is number 1.
Yeah, that's a good one. That is.
Yeah, I wouldn't have anything against the Patriots and Rob Gronkowski.
28 and 3.
Going to that board would be good enough of a description for you.
This has always been a big debate about every kind of player. Who's the greatest quarterback? Who's the greatest? I really can't say that we could actually sum it up to one player ever in any of the positions.
Because of eras and time,
Well,
probably?
the different eras of football. I mean, look at a quarterback like Tom Brady now. Now look at Joe Montana, and you look at the eras they played in. They didn't have any of these rules to protect Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you could plow his face right into the turf, and it was fine as long as he still had the ball.
Yeah.
Now the tuck rule and everything else. So saying that like Rob Gronkowski as a tight end is the greatest, or Gonzalez is the greatest, or what have you, they've played in different eras, and the game itself has changed. I mean, a tight end in itself, his position used to be much more of a blocking position.
Yeah.
Now we use them as an in route kind of guy, a little quick.
I mean, yeah, some
quick
teams,
slants and-
their tight end is technically their best receiver in a way.
Yeah.
They have the most yards and
Yeah,
things like that.
so
Look at the 49ers.
Yeah.
the way the game has changed, I think, has also changed their statistics. I mean, Rob Gronkowski, yeah, he's gonna have 79 touchdowns because when you get into that red zone, quick slant passes are what you're
And
going
he's
to
the
use.
tallest
and you're
guy.
done.
I mean,
Yeah,
exactly.
and so to compare him to Gonzalez or to compare him to any other tight end throughout time, like I say, as the game changes and as the rules change, yeah. Do I think he's a great player? Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. I think he deserves props, mad props.
And you definitely agree first ballot Hall of Fame?
Oh yeah,
You think
oh yeah,
For 9 seasons? I mean,
oh yeah.
okay.
Even though it's only a 9-season thing, think of the other problems that guy has.
Oh, yeah.
With his back, his
Yeah.
arm.
I mean,
his,
a lot of people
that's-
don't realize he got a lot of snuff about the giant brace he wears and everything.
Yeah.
And so many people didn't realize the reason he wore that is he had a botched surgery that took place. He had his elbow, they messed up like the realignment or like
Yeah.
fixed surgery on it, and that's why he had to wear it. Was it a little obsessive or excessive?
Yeah.
A little bit. But, because it got
protected
used as
him and
kind of like a
everything.
box.
Well,
out tool.
not just that. You got that big old thing there, and you tuck a ball in there.
Yeah.
Nobody's getting to that.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well be carrying a backpack with you.
He definitely stretched it for that.
Yeah.
For that exact purpose.
I think when it comes to GOATs of certain eras, there's only one that people consistently talk about that I agree with, and that's 60s, is it Joe Brown, the one running back
Yeah.
for Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
I understand when people make that case because he would run like a 2,000-yard season in a 14-game stretch when passing wasn't a thing really.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But to compare those, it's tough. I mean, I feel like the GOAT
You're
conversation...
talking about Jim Brown.
Jim Brown.
Jim Brown.
Not Joe Brown. Sorry, thank you. I feel like that GOAT conversation is very relevant right now for the fact of like Tom Brady. After he
Yeah.
won the Atlanta Super Bowl, that word just got thrown around, and then last year it gets thrown around even more, and it's just kind of how it is.
Yeah.
But we all agree, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
Rob
and I
Gronkowski.
mean, like, when I was talking about him and stuff, I didn't realize he'd been playing 9 seasons, but when he started playing, he's only like 29 now.
Yeah.
29 or 30. Like, he started playing when he was 20.
Yeah.
And I mean, the beating that tight ends take too these
He
days.
gets to
being-
retire before he's retired.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's smart retiring this early. Like,
Yeah.
He definitely
he
is.
played his
You can already
prime
see
and
it,
like.
That's got to take a lot from somebody like him, because coming just off a Super Bowl and then one before it, and then being in one before that,
Right.
you know you're going to keep going to Super Bowls if Tom Brady's still throwing to you. So it's weird that he took now to cut out.
I think the
Well,
Tom Brady era is almost over.
There's also the whole go out while you're on top.
Exactly.
And some of the greatest players ever have gone out while on top.
Peyton Manning.
Look at somebody like Jerry Rice,
Yeah.
was awesome, and then
Just
he-
kept his career going.
nobody really even thinks about the fact that he moved to these other
Yeah,
teams
he
'cause
played for like 3 other teams after San Francisco for like a
and
year or
never
so.
and never had the kind of seasons he had before.
Yeah.
He should have retired when the Steve Young era was done.
But you do have to give a lot of props to the fact that that's someone who like truly loves the game of football.
Oh yeah.
That they can't see past their age, and they have to just keep going.
Well, and it's a selfless thing. It's not.
exactly.
Yeah, it's not doing it to keep padding stats or to keep having the be number one. you
Even
know.
though it might look like that now, since no one's ever going to touch his records, like they're just stupid. This brings us into our next spotlight. Just yesterday, there was a rapper in Georgia, I believe, named Nipsey Hussle who just died.
It's Los Angeles there, bud.
Los Angeles.
Los
Sorry, I'm
Angeles.
I'm not talking Atlanta.
who just died in LA, and the internet's in a roar about it, as it has been when the last 3 rappers died. This brings me to the question for you guys. Even though his music and everything he said was really foul and had that hood go crazy like vibe to it, he did a lot for his community. Do you think that atones for it, or?
I think that does help with like the how you see him and everything. Like they were talking about how he was against all the gang violence and trying to stop that in his community.
But his
especially,
music
like,
still promoted it at the same time.
I mean, back in his era of music, like I know he just came out with something recently here in the past year or so, but like I do agree that his past music was a lot more like vulgar and towards that. But there's a lot of people whose music aims towards like gang violence and all that, and then they promote that towards their community.
Yeah.
And trying to help like change the mindset in their community, I think.
To keep you relevant in this, around your time, when you were listening to music, heavy metal, things like that in the 80s, there was a lot of crazy stories from rock stars, like Ozzy Osbourne biting the head off bats.
Which never happened.
Yeah, yeah. How did you feel about things like that? When you would see these people like this doing just insanely psycho stuff?
The showmanship end of it, things like him biting the head off a bat. It was actually a dove, by the
Yeah.
way, and not a bat.
It makes it better.
Still
Yeah.
cut the head off of something. I mean,
things like that. It was a show thing. There were those groups and those people who did bad stuff. Now, you're insanely rich. You're going to have times and all that money, all that drugs and everything else that fuels it. You're going to cut loose.
Yeah.
I'm not against that. I have to ask you a question though. You guys are talking about this guy is outweighing his good versus
his music in a
bad.
way. His older-ish music not too long ago promoted
Was Al Capone a good man?
In the
I
public
mean,
eye, no.
If you think about it, all the things he did for his community, would say yes, he is.
Yeah.
But we all know he wasn't. We all know he was a brutal, murdering mafia boss.
Yeah.
So to say that this guy, this rapper, is all of a sudden just because he's giving back to the community and everything else, blood money's blood money. It doesn't matter. So to me, no, it doesn't outweigh.
Okay.
His goods do not outweigh his bads.
I mean, obviously, it's tough to compare these two situations where you got Al Capone who is actually murdering people and this guy who speaks about it as an artistic piece.
And I mean, that's...
I think actions speak louder than words here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he didn't really do much
Yeah.
to make himself look bad in the public eye. People just didn't. They just assume, oh, he's a rapper, he talks about violence, he's a bad person.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
A lot with like a lot of the rappers that get killed though, like they die and then everybody just talks about all the good they did and just like shoves out the like music that they made that promoted the stuff like gang violence and drugs.
We can look at that as a positive view, though, that our community and our population is coming together to focus on the positives of a human being
right
over the negatives.
negatives. That's
I mean, you have to acknowledge those negatives, but it's good that we're kind of focusing on the
on
positives
those when they're gone.
I mean, yes, there's
That's
somewhere it
true,
was
too.
touchy. All of us with the
We
XXX
know.
Temptation guy, we all know that, but
I'm not gonna talk on that.
yeah.
That'll piss a lot of people off.
But you do give free rein to people for going kind of wild.
Well, yeah. That eccentric lifestyle.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, Michael Jackson, guy had an amusement park.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, you've got so much money, you got to do something with it.
Yeah.
They're gonna cut loose. They're gonna get nuts. They're gonna go wild. You got to think these guys go on tour. They're out on tour sometimes 9 months, a year,
Yeah.
away from their families, out in hotel rooms, just pussy being slung at them left and right, drugs everywhere. Of course, you're gonna do some stupid things.
Yeah.
Is what they're doing bad though, or is it just stupid shit? I mean, it's been said that there was certain bands that did things like super glue all the furniture in a hotel room on the ceiling, so that when they checked out next day, people walk in and there it is.
That's genius. I
That-
want to try
that-
that.
The millions of televisions that have been chucked out of third-story windows of hotels just because it was funny and so forth. If nobody got hurt and they paid for the damages,
Gives a shit.
who gives a shit?
Exactly.
They didn't do anything that was really that bad.
Yeah.
They were just being stupid and,
Yeah,
and
having
having
fun.
fun. Yeah.
What do you
If
think?
I had that kind of money, I'd be throwing televisions like out of my window going down the freeway. Shit. If I could pay for it.
What do you think the limit is, though, for their amount of being above the law? Because you have to admit that artists, celebrities, they have a certain kind of leeway with the law.
Celebrities are above the law, period.
Yeah.
They get away with everything. Look at here's something relevant. Jesse Smollett. Sorry, the guy just got all charges just dropped.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, it was
For
an
lying in a
open and
federal
shut
court
case.
and-
Yeah.
That guy right now should be getting ass pounded in a cell.
I'm sure you like it too.
And he walks right out.
Yeah.
I just
I'm
thought.
sorry, bullshit.
I just don't understand how 16 counts of felony charges just suddenly gets completely dropped.
Right.
Exactly.
With nothing to pay for it.
Exactly.
I just don't. I don't understand.
Do you think they deserve a little bit? I mean, we know they are above the law in a sense. Do you think like we're saying, rock stars, do they deserve a little bit of leeway or just none? Should they be equal to the common citizen? Because, like, when you're throwing a TV out the window and you pay for all of it, yes, there's no one's losing money besides the person paying for it, but it is technically destruction of property, disturbing
the next
peace.
time you ever have to go to court, you stand before a judge, tell him that, make up anything. This is the reason why I should be let off.
Yeah.
And see what he says. The law is the law.
Yeah.
Period. You break the law, you should have to atone for that sin. I mean, that's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
I don't think they should be given any leeway. Just because you're what? Because you're rich or because you're known by the public eye? So that all of a sudden it's okay for you to touch some little boy's dinghy or something? Bullshit.
Yeah. Would you say then it's a corruption of court systems then?
Oh, it's corruption of our society, period.
Okay.
The rich do get away with shit.
Even in
there
the
is no
eye,
such
too.
thing as white privilege, but there is rich privilege.
So, how would I word this? You think they get leeway in the public eye as well? Depending on like what they are. Like if the Kardashians go
Oh,
up,
of course.
Yeah.
Look at how many people defended people like what's his name, 6ix9ine or whatever.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
How can you defend that?
Yeah.
Seriously. So yeah, even society itself, if you're a big enough fan and people love you enough, even they are going to defend you to an extent.
Yeah. I mean, I would.
At least the liberal ones are.
Yeah. There it is.
I knew it was coming.
I would say, like, dependent on where you are and what you do, depends on how much leeway the public gives you. Yeah, like, the Kardashians can go into Barcelona and run over a bunch of people with a car like it just happened 5 years ago, and they would probably film it on their show and it'd get like 1 million views, and nothing would happen. But
Next week on the episode of Kardashians, watch her kill people.
Yeah. But Kevin Spacey touches one little boy for 12 years and suddenly we're going crazy.
Oh God.
I like Kevin Spacey. I'd let him touch me.
Let you touch me.
Yeah.
I'll touch you.
Moving on from that, with my father being our special guest this week, we've given him the liberty of coming up with a special topic for us, which we are what? Liberty. We've given him the liberty.
Special liberals? God damn.
We've given him the ability, fuck you, to come up with his own topic and not share with us. So now is that time. What do you got for us?
Being that I'm a truck driver and I'm out on the roads every day, there isn't a day that goes by that I don't see a serious accident or I don't see a body covered in a sheet. I travel over 600 miles a day across this country. I have to ask you guys, because you're the youth that this most affects, texting and driving, using the devices and so forth and driving. Do you feel that the first offense should be a literal loss of license for 6 months? Second offense, now I'm going to let you know, as a truck driver, first offense for me is a $2,700 fine. Second offense is 6 months loss of license and $7,200 fine. Third offense is loss of driving privileges permanently.
Yeah.
As a CDL driver. So, because we're considered professional drivers, we're held to a higher standard.
Yeah.
But isn't it about time that we start putting stricter laws on that? Just to say that it's against the law, you'll be ticketed. You know what? Nobody's afraid of fucking tickets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a $40, $50
Yeah,
That's
ticket.
Josh
gives a
about it.
shit.
Yeah.
Now
Hey,
make
I'm
that
gonna
same
get
ticket
that.
for that teenager $7,200 and a 6 month loss of their license.
He'll never bring his phone
Yeah,
with him. In a
yeah.
Oh
car.
no, it ain't even gonna be a matter of them. Their parents, when they're done reaming their ass, they're never gonna want to pick up that phone again while they're
Oh, yeah.
driving.
I would say first offense, hefty fine.
I think
In the way it is with you. Not
Yeah.
hefty to the amount to like 3,200, but like in like something.
Why not?
Uh,
Why is it that it would be $3,200 for a truck driver versus some idiot in a car zipping in and out of traffic and hitting their brakes in front of that truck driver?
I guess I'd have to say the amount of training. to get a licensed CDL, you go through how long of training it would be?
Well, it depends on how you went about getting your license,
Yeah.
but for me, it was a month.
Yeah. I would say as well, they don't go through that. I mean, you could read a booklet for 3 days and then go take your test and get a license if you're 18.
Yeah, as long as you pass CDL
And
test.
as well, the amount of maturity. When you get those younger ages, I'm not saying we need to put a cap. It's like, yeah, if they're under 24 when we pull them over, it's a $100 fine. If they're over 24, we give them $1,000. But the most people who are going to be texting driving are going to be 23 and younger, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe older now that we're getting into a more electronic age.
You'd be surprised, be driving down the road every day, looking out, going through the city. I see just as many
Every
30-something-year-old
Okay.
women driving down the road. You know, I'm picking up McDonald's.
Yeah.
You know, so to say that the teenagers use technology much more than we do,
Yeah.
than an older guy like I would. But at the same time, when you write laws, you can't write a law to say, oh, if you're over this age,
Yeah.
if you're under that
you gotta
age,
be held to the same standard.
yeah, they got to be held to the same standards. Why is it that I'm held to such a high standard? I understand I'm a professional driver and I've had training and I'm supposed to know better.
Yeah.
But why am I held here, yet some kid goes in and takes a 20-question test and get out on those same roads
Yeah.
driving around, and because their parents are a bunch of dipshit liberals, they let them fucking run around with a phone in their hand while they're driving.
That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna agree with too, is that like we all share the same roads, we're all driving the same places and
Exactly.
everything. Like we should be held to that same, I think.
What would you put first offense then?
I wouldn't go as far as 6 months losing your license. I think it should be a heftier fine,
Yeah.
first offense, and then the second offense, losing that license for 6 months, I think would be good. Because like I think it would scare the shit out of kids to have their license taken away for 6 months and having to have their parents drive them everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And having to lose thousands of dollars, like. I
Dad,
think
can
it-
you take me on my date? Yeah, that's enough to
Yeah,
get you to
that's-
stop
yeah.
doing stupid
Yeah.
shit.
See, I think it's kind of like an unfair standard too, because they probably put a heftier fine on you guys because you got bigger trucks and they can cause a big...
It's a lot more dangerous, yeah.
But
Well, I mean,
I've seen a car go straight into the front of a bus before, and it's probably going to do just as much damage.
Within reason. I mean, it'll.
Because the front of the bus was gone, and
Yeah.
there's literally two people going 55 at each other.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't think it's a fair label.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
our trucks, in comparison, weight comparison, your average vehicle is going to weigh anywhere between 4,000 and 8,000 pounds, depending on a car to a pickup truck.
Yeah.
I'm running 80,000.
Yeah.
So I'm running 10 times as heavy. We destroy whatever we hit.
Yeah. And even without a trailer, you're still what, like 12,000 pounds, right? Something like that?
No, the truck itself is 24,000, another 12,000 to 14,000 for the weight of the trailer. That's running empty.
Yeah.
So I'm still, 5 to 6 times the weight of
Anything you hit is getting destroyed.
it's going to destroy it, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to figure that the motor in my truck weighs as much as any of the cars you guys drive.
Yeah.
Just the motor. So,
Yeah, I would say put the punishments pretty similar to truck drivers. Reduce the fine a little bit because of the cost of danger. I mean, trucks, they will fucking kill whatever they hit. A car, it gets still extremely dangerous, but not as.
okay, you're saying that a truck, destroys whatever it hits. Human beings, doesn't matter if a truck hits them or a car hits
Yeah.
them, they're going to kill them.
Yeah.
what I
And
was
that's
getting
the
at.
thing that I'm
That's
looking
exactly what I was getting at.
at, is that why should it be any different? I mean, they should be getting nailed $2,700
yeah.
right off the bat, and then that second offense, $7,200 and a loss of license. What's the difference between driving drunk and driving while texting? It's still
Taking your-
impaired driving.
Yeah.
It's still distracted driving. So
What would you
Agreed.
put as the fines then? Would you have them the exact same as
I'd
the
have them
truck?
the same as truck
Or
drivers'
would you like-
fines are.
Or would you like the
Make
truck
them
one?
stiff enough to
Yeah.
really hurt the parents.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, I blame parents for the way people drive
Yeah.
nowadays. People don't teach their children that what they're behind the wheel of is a 4,000, 6,000 pound bullet.
Yeah.
It's gonna kill, and they run down the road, music up, phone in hand, not thinking about the fact that their life now, the moment they got on that road, is interacting with everyone else.
Yeah.
And there's a chance they can, you know, some guy just heading home from work trying to support a family gets killed because some chick had to tell him, oh, how cute the guy was they met.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you think your fines are too hefty?
I think they are. I think
So you say if they are even, they should be lowered.
they
though.
should be even. They should be a little bit lower, but enough to hurt.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit about $100 fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna pay the ticket and you're gonna move on with your
Right.
life. You're gonna hope that your points come off before you screw up and do it again.
Yeah.
If it's heavy enough that you're like literally like, man, this hurt me.
It like takes a
financially."
paycheck out of you.
Yeah,
Like,
this financially hurt me, or this financially hurt my parents because they're usually the ones.
And
paying
now
for
I don't
that
even get to
shit.
drive for 6 months. Like.
Yeah, that is the stuff that's gonna make you. You can tell your dog don't do that 100 times. Smack it once on the nose, and it all of a sudden associates pain
Yeah.
with no. That's basically same thing we're doing here. Is that if it hurts enough,
Yeah.
they'll
They're
stop
gonna
doing
learn.
it.
It's almost activating like a primal instinct in
Mhm.
humans.
I think it should be the same.
Yeah.
Because like, going back to like the weight difference, truck's gonna destroy anything, but you still kill a car.
Yeah.
It's gonna do the same damage to a
Plus,
human.
like you were saying with like the professional, having the professional life, I don't think age or experience should have anything to do with it. You're driving a car, you're out there operating a motor vehicle, you should have the consequences.
You all signed that piece of paper when you got your license. I bet not one of you ever read
Read
it.
it? Yeah.
No.
So read the terms and
telling,
agreements.
telling you that the vehicle is only to move when you feel safe to operate.
Yeah.
And that it is the sole responsibility of the person operating that vehicle to make sure that it's operated safely.
Yeah, but you read that to a teenager, and he's like, "I can operate safely."
You've
Well,
all,
that's-
there.
you've all,
You
you've
were
all
invincible.
signed that contract when you got your license.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that's what you were doing, was signing a contract.
Yeah.
To try to be as safe as possible out there on the road.
Yeah.
And the minute you get out that door, you grab that key, hop in that car, and
Don't
what
worry
the
about
hell
it.
was that piece of paper again?
Yeah. Partially on that topic, one thing. What do you think the age should be where licenses get cut off?
Like if you're getting too old to drive.
Yes.
Like it's in blue-haired women cruising down the fast
Yeah.
lane at
We've
35.
we've all seen enough videos of an old timer falling asleep behind his Buick and just
South Park.
jumping medians. What do you think the age should be? Or should it be a definitive age or like
I
a
don't
mental
think.
state?
I don't think there's. I think the mental state. I don't think there's a certain age. I think everybody hits that mental state at a certain age where they start losing, like
Their
their.
faculties.
Yep.
I
just-
think if you're not comfortable to drive a speed limit, you shouldn't be able to drive anymore.
Well, a lot of them, it's not that they're probably not comfortable. It's that they can't even see their speedometer.
Yeah.
And at
So
that
they
point, they
have
shouldn't
to
be
act-
driving either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean,
I was gonna say the whole state of Arizona and Florida, both of them, they just gotta quit driving. If that's the case.
Where's the-
None of them do the speed limit.
Would you say at like 60 then would be like every 2 years you're taking a test?
I think that'd be pretty.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
every
I
couple of
think
years.
that- yeah,
Me as a truck driver, I have to get a physical every 2 years
Yeah.
to show that I'm physically capable of handling that vehicle.
Yeah.
Why is it that we turn over a 20-year license to a person that's already 60?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm sorry, but
yeah, that's a little excessive.
when that person's hitting 72 years old and, you know,
Yeah. It makes more
who
sense.
took my
to have
glasses,
them.
who shit my pants, you know? Yeah, you're gonna get behind the wheel of the giant old Buick, head on down to the hometown buffet for chowder.
See, I think when you hit 60, it should be the 5 years until you hit 70.
And then
So
Yeah,
you renew
take
it
it
twice
down
in
to
your
2.
60s.
okay.
You bump it down to 2, and then it's yearly at 80.
Yeah.
I think that does make sense. To
Yeah.
have it that way.
It's-
I
you
wouldn't
kinda ease
I wouldn't
into
agree
it.
with that like 30 years ago, just for the fact of like healthcare.
I'm sure in 45 years from now, I won't think the same thing too. but-
Yeah. No, I would say it would be like if this was 30 years ago and we were having this conversation, I wouldn't say like 60 or 70. I would say like 50, just because of I would say, prolonged healthcare.
Yeah. just
People are
living
healthier
longer.
for
Yeah,
longer.
I'm just about to turn 50.
Well, the good thing
and
we're
I'm
not,
driving an 80,000-pound rig.
good thing we're not having this conversation 30 years ago. Because I would tell you,
Sorry.
lay down the license.
I'm sorry. I think rightfully, as soon as you get towards that age of 70, the human lifespan right now
It's like 83, I think.
is like, yeah.
Somewhere in the
So
lower ranges.
once you're in decline, that comes in that 65 to 70-year-old
Yeah.
area. Me myself will be forcibly. I will have to quit driving at 65.
Yeah. Wait, you have to.
Yeah, I
For a truck?
forcibly have to quit at that age.
Like, they won't, for truckers, they won't allow over that age.
It's not that they won't allow it. It's that there's no way you're passing your physical. And I mean, I can go to some, backyard
Yeah, that's
doctor
underground.
that's like, yeah, I'll just write you one. You're good.
Here we go.
How many fingers am I holding up? 17. Oh,
Good
yeah, well,
enough.
you're good.
Get out of here.
You're close. 2 minus 15. Oh, yeah, you're there.
Moving on to our last topic for the night is robocalls. We've all had them.
Fuck them.
They're fucking annoying. And to start this off, because I've been present for many of these, Father, what is your opinion on robocalls?
Listen here, you towel-headed, donkey fucking, camel riding, sandal wearing pieces of shit. Knock it off with your stupid ass freaking 400 calls a day to try to scam me out of IRS taxes, your car insurance, your your warranty on your car expired. Yeah, like 12 years ago. Bullshit. I hope you all die in a house fire. Seriously, I hate robocalls more than anything on this planet. The fact that you've already signed up on a list to say you're on a do not call, they are outrightly breaking the law by calling you.
Yeah.
And the part that pisses me off the most is if you try to tell them, hey, I'm on a do not call, they hang up on you in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Because as long as they don't actually hear you say it, they can pretend you didn't say it and keep calling you.
Well, and then they do that thing too, where a lot of people will answer the phone saying yes or something like that, and then they just hang
Yeah.
up right there. Because all they do is record that
Your
yes,
voice,
and they
yes.
use it for whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the robocalls that's out right now, so be aware out there. It's a recorded voice, and it's usually Ashley or Susie or something else. This is Susie in the travel department, and I'm in a crowded business place. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Do not say yes. All they're looking for is the yes. Tell her to go fuck herself and hang up. It's a bullshit call. All they're doing is looking to record
That
sound
voice,
snippets of
yeah.
you. And then what you basically have done is given them the okay to call you for other things or to sign you up for other things. Yeah, it's a scam. Stay away from them. Don't answer them.
I'll just be sitting in class. I'll be like, I'm getting a phone call. Hello?
Yeah.
Your credit card's out of. There's something wrong with your credit card.
Yeah.
Like, shit, I have a credit card? What
Yeah. When did that come from?
the
Yeah.
hell did that happen?
I
What-
hate,
what's my
fuck
line
you.
of credit on that one, by the way?
I hate how it's gotten to the point where, like,
Stupid.
I don't even answer my phone anymore because, like, the number will ring. You just let it go, and if somebody wants to say something, you let them leave a voicemail because I don't want to answer fucking any more robocalls. Like, that's
Yeah.
all you get anymore.
It is.
Yeah.
It literally is. I have nobody call me other than my mother and robo people.
Yeah.
See, the
That's
worst thing
literally
about that is it messes up, like, you expecting calls.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what
when
I mean.
I'm, like, applying to a bunch of jobs or something and I'm expecting calls, there's
Especially
times I'm, like, trained out to just not even want to answer a random number. For the fact that, yep, it's just some random asshole.
Exactly. That's exactly the way I am. No, I think they should have some sort of, like, governing body just looking out for these robocalls and, like, shutting them down, which, I mean, it's almost impossible because they're coming from everywhere.
They do have a governing body. It's called the FCC, and you're at sleep at the wheel, motherfuckers. I don't get it.
I just think there's so much of it going on that there's no way to keep
Yeah,
up with it.
FCC, you're busy banning Family Guy episodes,
Yeah.
but you won't watch the robocalls. Would you say we need to implement some sort of like really serious law then
I do.
towards it? I mean, there's some
Serious
Yeah,
laws.
absolutely.
Right now, as it is,
It should be a
if you
felony.
record the phone
Really?
number, if you record that phone number, and every time that they call, you mark it in your records, and you hire yourself the lawyer, and you can actually find out who the company is, you can sue them for $500 per call.
Hell, let's get on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start looking
Let's
through
get
the
ourselves a
reasons.
lawyer.
That's actually what the fine is
Yeah.
for them doing that to you. For
Yeah.
them calling
Should
you.
be like
Well, I mean,
The
$5,000.
problem is a lot of them are using this
They
new
change.
technology where it's a random dialer.
Constantly changes
And they
numbers.
change-
It-
Yep.
Yeah, well, and the number dials from disconnected numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have no way of tracking it or tracing it.
Yeah.
All you can do is block. On my phone, I think I have like 10,000 numbers blocked now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Literally, I block a dozen of them a day.
Yeah.
And see, like, recently with the ones I've been getting, so our area code's 351.
Yeah.
Or, like, for our number, I mean,
A
it's
lot of them are
515
area codes
technically,
around
but
here.
like, a lot of them will call on 351 now.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you don't even
There
know
are
when
all
it's.
kinds of area codes around here.
Yeah.
My phone is still out of Tucson, so it's still got an area code of 520.
Yeah.
So I automatically know, unless it's my family there, any number that comes out of Arizona area code is one
You
of
got
them.
'em, yeah.
And I just answered, "Go fuck yourself." From now.
I think the best thing to do is like when you get hit with those credit card scams, start giving them like number anagrams. You know, like a Mastercard 16 digits, just like kill yourself, cock.
Just be like, fuck
And
yourself.
then when they write the number down, and they're like, wait a
Wait
minute,
a second.
that motherfucker.
I just love seeing the videos on YouTube of the people who like call him out and then they just get in an argument
Yeah.
back and forth. He's like, "Fuck you," and he's like, "No, fuck you." And it just goes back and forth.
The one policeman that got the one from the IRS
Yeah.
scam, yeah.
I know I brought this up to him, but one app that's really making waves recently, I don't know if you heard, it's called Robo Killer. It's
We
in
talked about
yeah,
it.
yeah, where
It's like $3 a month or something.
yeah, like $20.
I mean, it's not
20 bucks a year.
incredibly ridiculous. It's like I think it was like $2.79
Yeah,
a month for it.
but I love that it
I-
answers the call for you and then keeps them on the line and fucks with them. Like, that's genius.
I haven't loaded it into my phone. I downloaded it, but I haven't turned the service on or
Yeah.
tried it yet.
Just yeah, to see if it works.
Well, because they're using these random dialer things now, I'm afraid that it's really not going to
Pick them up.
work the way it's
It
supposed
should,
to work.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, before it did because it works off of a list that's on the internet of numbers reported by people
Yeah.
for that stuff. Well, if it's coming out of dead numbers,
Yeah.
how's the system going to work?
Like the
Well,
ones that have been
I mean,
getting-
Yeah, exactly.
The other thing I would assume they're doing is it stops all unknown numbers. But that brings it back to the other thing where what if you're receiving a call from someone who's important?
Yeah.
You just left them on the line with a fucking bitch ass message and they're like, I ain't fucking calling that guy back. This guy's a
Well, I
dick.
guess you're not getting that $10,000 inheritance, Mr. Houdek.
Ugh. Anybody else, anything else on that? All good?
Fuck you, robocalls.
Hope you all die in a house fire.
Exactly. That's all the time we got for tonight. Tomorrow we're going to be, or next week, sorry, we're going to be talking about America and its culture, whether it's original or we just steal it from everybody else here. As always, I'm your host, Garrett Hodak.
I'm Josh.
I'm Jordan.
And I'm Ken.
We'll see you next time.
Fuck you, robocalls.
Hope you all die in a house fire.